Hey guys, welcome back to Project White Fang, or myself, this whole shindig, whatever you want to call it. Not that I've done much on Project White Fang in a while. But what we have done is, this is going to be my daughter's car next year. This is an '05 S197 that we've recently upgraded the wheels on. We went with some 19 GT500 from American Muscle, and we did the full IBOC Pro Kit, which consists of the springs, shock struts, sway bars, and then I went full JM lower control arm in the rear, upper control arm, as well as caster camber plates. Still had an annoying little bump though. I don't know if y'all have ever experienced this on these cars, but man, as soon as you change out these, it sounds like there's something loose up front. After all the research that I've done, I think I've narrowed it down to the sway bar end links, and I hope that when I get the new set in and I change them out, it gets rid of that annoying bump. But aside from that, the kit's been great. I think the stance looks a lot more aggressive. And we went with a chin spoiler up front, and I changed out the fog lights to a little bit more aggressive look. And we went with a full Memphis audio system in here just to change things up. We put some tweeters and 5x7s in the door, as well as 6x9s in the back. I got a new head unit coming in. It did sound pretty good when I had it, but I'll tell you, with the new speakers, it sounds pretty bitchin'. But this is going to be my daughter's car next year, so it's a pretty nice first car for a new driver. On to the good stuff. Here's Project White Fang, though, that hasn't been touched in a while, and I apologize. As you can see, I've made some changes in my garage. I now have a 2-post lift. Went and got me a big toolbox. And this right here, for those of you who don't know, Carroll Shelby made his own car in 1999 called the Series 1. That's exactly what this is. This is a friend of mine's car that we were going to replace the fuel pump on, but unfortunately, they must have built the entire car around the fuel system, because after taking this apart for a few hours yesterday, we find no reasonable access to the fuel system whatsoever, other than the back half of this coming off, which seems unrealistic to us. So we don't know what we're going to do here yet. We're going to try to search around and see if anyone knows of anything, but we've upgraded the motor in this car. These normally come with a 4-liter Aurora engine. It's a transverse mounted engine that Shelby utilized as a rear-wheel drive with a torque tube transaxle setup. We've swapped over to a Cadillac Northstar 4.6, pretty wicked cams. This car only weighs 2,650 pounds. The current motor in here pulls 420 horsepower, 380 foot-pounds of torque, and revs to 8,500 RPM. So it's a nice little thing if we can solve the fuel pump. We think the stock fuel pump, though, doesn't supply enough fuel, so we want to change it out before we get serious. And onto the lift, though. This thing's pretty badass. I'm very happy with it. This is your typical 2-post symmetrical lift for your in-home use. This is not super heavy duty, but this is going to be plenty for the weekend warrior type guy like myself, who just comes out here and piddles and does what he wants to do for his garage. So it's pretty kick-ass. We've got it wired up to a 220. I'll give you a little demonstration. Cameraman, why don't you back on up a little bit, and we'll put this boy in the air so they can see the cool stuff at work. Now, I'm not going to take it all the way up. There's no reason for that, but I'll tell you, having something like this in your personal garage changes the whole game for working on a car. I'm in my mid-40s now, and I'll tell you, getting up and down off the ground underneath the car was not something I was interested in anymore. To be truthful with you, to put a 2-post lift in the car is not even that expensive. You can do it for about $2,000, and that might be ouchy for some people, but for me, it was well worth it. And that was having it installed, about $2,200 installed. I got my new big tool chest. Still have some stuff to do on White Fang here. This is the Cobra engine. Quick question though, and I want to leave it up to you guys, my 200 followers, which is not many because this is not an important channel for me. I do try to educate, but talking with the wife, and it was brought up to me by one of the people that watch my videos, why not do a coyote swap? And I had already had so much invested into this setup at the time, I just kind of blew it off. But the more and more research that I do, it may be wise for me to sell all of my 4.6 stuff and just swap over to a coyote for Project White Fang. I think by the time I'm going to have to get both cars tuned and kind of settled in anyway, it might be something that would be more beneficial and financially a little cheaper in the long run once I sell all this stuff. But that's the deal. I have to sell this first before I get the coyote engine and transmission. I'll probably run probably the Magnum 3650. I think that's what it is, 6-speed, specifically for the coyote setup on the old SN95 chassis, which would be kind of sweet. Keep my RS and keep all the suspension that's on the car. But just tell me what you guys think. I've been going back and forth with it, and it's going to delay the project even further. Plus, we have plans for our business that's growing, and that's going to delay me anyway. I've been dealing with friends' stuff, and we've got so much going on at our business, personal. It doesn't leave a lot of time for all of my hobbies, but you know, I'll take y'all's opinions and really mull it over. But I think I'm kind of leaning more towards the coyote swap. So tell me what you guys think. Thanks for all your patience. The people who check my videos out and know this has been ongoing for several years and I've not done much, but this is what happens when you work your own business and you have to live your life and raise your kids and please your wife and do all the other things necessary for living. Unfortunately, I'm not young and I can't just do what I want to do all the time. And anyway, thank you for all your patience, and we'll see you guys next time.